guys and gals, looking to install the LR Baggs Anthem pickup system into the Martin. This is a DX1AE made in Mexico. I'm going to try to show you inside the sound hole. I don't know if it's better if I turn off the light. I think it is better if I turn off the light. I want to take a look at the sound hole brace. I think we can see it pretty good now. See that sound hole brace right here? That sucker is like 3/8 of an inch deep. And I don't know if it's because this is a bolt-on neck. It's got an L-shaped neck block. Comes out, truss rod adjustment bolt comes through it. I don't have a ton of experience with this model, but and it says in the instructions if the Anthem is not correct for your bracing system, that you should probably go with this more simple. I think it's called the Element SL or something. I don't know. Anyways, this recess that they have in the system does not quite accommodate for this gigantic brace. It teeter-totters in there quite a bit. See that? So the customer, he already bought this and he's really anxious. He really wants this one in there, so I decided to go ahead and laminate some pieces of wood together, kind of stack them to the right thickness, and use these. The kit came with extra set of these double-sided adhesive pads, and I was able to trace out the shape of those three. So I'm going to take the little pieces of wood that I laminated and stacked together down to the bandsaw. We'll cut them out and we'll glue them in as needed here. Here's a better look at the sound hole brace right there. That's the one it keeps track. There's one on both sides. They're kind of like an A-frame. They come up and add some reinforcement, but that's what we've got to work around. We're going to install the Anthem. See if we can get her to work. Should be able to see that brace a little better now. Alrighty. My little pieces here, I went around the disc sander and cleaned them up, just in case someone looks inside the guitar and they want to see what kind of work someone's been doing on this guitar. They'll be able to say, I think that guy did a nice job. Nice old job there with that. Oh, radiuses look nice. That radius is a little too radiused. Well, I guess they both are. Well, hey, you know what I think I'll do? I think I'll run some shellac around the edges and then I'll glue them in place. Let me do that first. Just because this has an amber color to it. This one I don't need to, but I think just the front edge of these two I will paint those real quick. Alright. Get a little brush. So it's really just going to see this front edge a little bit. Let's do it this way. Do a little shellac and paint it on. Don't want to get it on the face because the glue won't penetrate as well if I shellac that. So I don't want to put shellac on the face where it's going to get glued. Well, I just did that. Damn it. I had a little wet up. My brush was a little too wet. Alright, well that will seal the edge of those front two. Should I do this one while I'm here? What the heck? You know what? Maybe this is a good idea. Keep it from delaminating in the future, you know. If there's excess moisture, which is a possibility down here in the south. We got some moist gigs coming up this summer. Yep. Alright, so I've painted the edges, prevent delamination, make it look good, just in case someone looks on in there. And so that's a magnet right there. That's just a big old magnet holding my thing in place. That this needs to be about 1/4 of an inch behind the big sound hole brace. So let me get a little glue on here. I'm going to turn on my light. This is just Tight Pond Original. Actually, I probably want to clean. I want to clean the. I'll clean the existing wood with some naphtha. There was a Fishman Sonotone pickup that came from the factory. It was previously glued in this area right here, this tiny little spot. So I was already cleaning that area a skosh earlier. Get some of the residue off there. How's it looking? It's looking pretty good. Alright. We got enough light in there. How's that? It's alright. I'm going to go in blind. Kind of blind. And on there like that. Sound hole brace. Now I want to get that magnet in place. Good. Could put a clamp on here too. A little quick grip. We'll let that sit. We'll look inside while we're in clamp down mode. Got those two other little pieces clamped down there. And we'll let that sit for an hour. all glued in place. Pretty clean installation. I don't think he'll mind having that extra wood in his guitar at all, really, considering what kind of guitar this is, with a laminated back and all. You can see the back is made of Formica, and the neck is laminated and all that, so it's kind of a heavy guitar anyways. I'm going to show one other thing here. Just grab his camera, move it over here. The hole. Let me set this up on something here. Okay, the new strap jack is $470 thousandths. It's just shy of a ½ inch. But the existing hole, turn this way, is 458 thousandths. So it's about 10 thousandths of an inch shy. I've got to open it up a little bit. The thing I wanted to talk about is, instead of going in there with a big drill bit, I like to take a reamer and open up the outside neatly. Because a regular drill bit will chip out the finish. The reamer opens it up, and it's very gentle around the surrounding finish. So right now I'm just beyond where I need to be, so that was all it took. Now I can go in there with a regular, like ½ inch or like a... Let's talk about this sound hole brace that's in the way, and talk about some do's and don'ts. LR Baggs did not recommend doing what I did right here. They recommend going to a cheaper pickup model, and some people want the best. I want the LR Baggs Anthem. So the other thing I was slightly crossed my mind was shaving down this bracing a little bit so that the pickup would go in. That would probably be a bad idea. I wouldn't recommend changing the bracing in any guitar top. I would leave that for a guitar builder, leave that for the manufacturers. They know how much strength is needed to keep this guitar from collapsing under string tension. So bad idea to think about shaving this brace down, and by any means I wouldn't do it. I see a lot of vintage guitars come through my shop, and a lot of times the sound hole is pushed down. So having this nice big brace here is a plus, and putting in these little pieces of wood I don't think is going to take away from the character or the tone of the guitar as much as the damage that would be caused by thinning this down. Here's the jack. That turned out very nice. But now I wanted to look at these again. I put the clear shellac on there, but since I have mixed up a current batch of shellac, I usually take it just an eyedropper like this, and I'll put it in a Dixie cup, just a little fresh shellac. Then I've got some brownish red stuff that I mixed up for a different job. I'll take a little bit of that, mix it a little bit, and then the thing with shellac is that I mix it fresh from flakes, and then it goes bad after about 3 months. It actually has a bit of a shelf life, and I mean what I mean by go bad is that the dry time is affected after a while. So instead of drying right quick, it just takes like a week or two to dry, and you can't really use it for And if you mix color with it, it affects the dry time even worse. So, like this one, I need to throw this out right now before I go use it. So that's a really good match right there. I like that. A little more of a brown. If he looks in there and sees my little pieces of wood, it won't be an eyesore at all. Next thing I want to do is test the battery that was in there. I set the voltage to 20 volts. This is a 9-volt battery. And then put the leads on there. And no wonder he had to go out and buy a new pickup. It's just a dead battery. No, this is a way better pickup actually. I'm going to get a fresh battery in there. And it already had a Velcro on the inside of the guitar, so that was good. Here's the new thingy. Here's what should be a brand new battery. Let's see what it reads. 9.06 volts. Always test that before sticking it in there and wondering what the hell's wrong. It only takes a second to test. Now I've got all these wires to connect. First one's the battery, which is obviously that one. Next one is the output jack, which is this big fat right angled one with the stereo connector. The microphone is the one black wire. And then the piezo is the braided wire. Boom. We're going to peel this tape and make sure I can see what I'm doing. Make sure this light isn't blinding me. The StewMac palette knives come in handy for one more purpose. That's a multi-function tool right there. So the main thing is that this almond colored piece is exposed slightly. That's the way all the pictures show it. Just about like that. Give it a firm pressing. It's not going to fall out. Could set a little clamp in there for an hour or so, maybe, just to whatever. Or flip it upside down. Flip the guitar upside down, just make sure gravity doesn't screw with you. Might put one more of these things in here. The kit, the pickup doesn't come with these. These, I used one in there already. These are nice for connecting, making sure there's no loose wires. Yeah, I'll need one more for sure. Right up and back here. I'll stick one of those in there. I'll need my light. And I'll need my mirror. And I'll get one more of those suckers in there. I gotta clean it off real quick. Well, the saddle was sitting in there quite low, and it turns out that the Fishman son of a gun was 80 thousandths of an inch. That's a big old mama. And the new one is only 30 thousandths of an inch. So, yeah, 30 thou. Difference of 50 thousandths of an inch. I found a little piece of hardwood sitting here, right here, which was about 45 thousandths of an inch, and I super glued it down onto the bottom of the saddle, and I could put a little accelerator on there to speed things up, since we're in such a big hurry today. Let's see if you can watch this. Watch the acceleration in process. I don't even think there was any on the brush. Here. We'll accelerate. I'm running out. Need to get me some accelerator. I like the brush on accelerator. It's been very good to me. Put a little pressure in different spots for a minute. This ends up working out real good because there's a groove down the center of each call, and the saddle rides right in that little slot. Just keep it from wobbling and wiggling, and that holds it while the glue cures. I'll trim this off. It's a pretty fat shim. That's a big fat fatty. Oh, that's a pretty good fit. Oh yeah! That's a good fit. Fit right in. Like Flynn. Look at that.